Let me tell you about the life I live, right? Better known as the baller life. It's not. I'm all about my baller status, just doing it big on a daily basis, like cruising in my car, chilling at the bar.
What's up, YouTube? This is James from Balling on a Budget Auto. So I'm coming back again. Yes, I have so many videos hitting you right now. I got another video for you. It's the Hyundai Santa Fe oil change. The actual Hyundai that's going to be in this video is a 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe GLS 3.5 liter engine. I know that there's so many oil change videos on the internet right now, but this just had to be done. Like, go ahead and look up other Hyundai Santa Fe oil changes and you tell me. It's like everyone did it in the dark, or it's like in a dungeon somewhere. There's not clear instructions, it's not clear video, and I wanted a video out there for my Hyundai fans, my Santa Fe fans. Man, I love Santa Fe's. That's where it all began. That's where all my work on cars began. I love these SUVs. They last, and they're so easy to work on. All right, so I'm gonna cut this out, make it quick, and let's go ahead and get started on this oil change. All right, guys, so today we're going to be working on doing an oil change on a 2005 Hyundai Santa Fe GLS 3.5 liter engine. So since it's been a while since this car has had an oil change, we're going to go ahead and start with some Seafoam. What we're going to do is we're going to put in 1.5 ounces per quart. That'll equal up to 250 mLs, and we're going to go ahead and measure that out. So go ahead and take off the oil cap. I've already measured out 250. I'm going to put my funnel in. There we go. And some people say they put Seafoam in about 100 miles before their next oil change, but since we don't have that type of time, we're just gonna run it for about 20-25 minutes. All right, so now that we let the car run for about 20 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the engine, and then we're gonna go ahead and get ready to change the oil. Okay, so now that we ran the Seafoam for 20 minutes, we went ahead and got the car on some ramps. And let's go ahead and get started. And now I'm gonna put my paint in position, and then let's go ahead and get down there and find the drain plug. So as you can see, right underneath the passenger side of the vehicle, we have our drain plug. It is actually a 17 millimeter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our breaker bar with a 17 millimeter socket on it. And we're gonna break it loose. Okay, now I'm gonna get my gloves on, and we're gonna start loosening this bolt by hand. And since we just ran the car, beware, it's gonna be a little warm. We're gonna go ahead and let that drain. So now that it's done draining, we're gonna go ahead and get the plug ready. On this plug, there's a gasket. So we're gonna go ahead and get a pick and pick all that off. Now that that gasket's off of there, we can go ahead and apply one of our crush washers. And we're gonna go ahead and hand tighten this bolt back in. But first, we're gonna make sure we got a clean surface where our drain plug goes. It doesn't look like there's any gasket around it. So we're gonna go ahead and attach our drain plug and thread it by hand. The reason we're gonna thread it by hand first is because it's made out of aluminum and we don't wanna strip those threads. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and clean off around the drain plug so we don't mistake that for any leaks. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our torque wrench. So we got 30 foot-pounds dialed up. And we're gonna go ahead and start tightening that up with a 17 millimeter. I'm gonna check it one more time. Okay. So now that our drain plug is torqued to 30 foot-pounds, we're gonna go ahead and move to the filter. Very same side, the passenger side. We have our filter, which is all the way up inside of here. So I'm gonna use our 80 millimeter oil filter wrench adapter here, and we're gonna loosen it up. And go ahead and get your pan ready underneath. Okay, here comes the oil. So I'm gonna let that run down for a little bit. So now it appears to have slowed down some. I'm gonna continue to loosen it up with my hand. And now we've got our filter. And next we're gonna check the actual surface where the filter goes. We wanna make sure that there isn't any gasket material left up there so that we can get a complete seal with our new filter. Okay, looking at the surface, it looks like the gasket came off. So it looks like we're gonna be ready to place on our new filter. But before then, I wanna go ahead and check the sizes of our filters and make sure that they are the same. Comparing the new filter to the old one, they're just about the same size. This one might be a little bit skinnier, but it is gonna work because the gasket is the exact same size. Before applying the new filter, we're gonna go ahead and put some brand new oil around the gasket. And we're also going to want to fill the filter about 2/3 full so that when we start up the car that it doesn't start up dry. It's already going to be circulating oil as it begins. Okay, so now that we got our oil filter ready, let's go ahead and apply it. Now, so that we don't mistake it for any leaking, we're going to go ahead and clean this off. Okay, and now that we've tightened it as tight as we can with our hands, we're gonna go ahead and tighten it 1/3 of a turn tighter, and we should be good from there. Okay, there we go. And now let's go ahead and go back to the top of the car and fill in our oil. Now that we've successfully put back on our oil drain plug and also our oil filter, we're gonna go ahead and start by putting in our oil. So that we don't overdo it, we're gonna just put in 4 quarts to begin with. Because this car takes 4.5, we're putting in 4 just in case there might have been some leftover oil and we don't want to put too much pressure on the system. Almost to 4. And then our last little bit. So now that we've successfully put in 4 quarts, we're going to go ahead and put on our oil cap and reverse to flat ground so that we can accurately measure the total volume of the oil. So now that we're on flat ground, we're going to go ahead and test our oil. Go ahead and wipe off our dipstick. Go ahead and place it back in. And that looks like we're halfway between the low and full level. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we're gonna go ahead and put in a little bit more oil and then run the engine for a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and test it one more time. Place the dipstick back in. And as you can see, it stops just right under full. So looks like it's perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and stop right there. And I'm gonna run the system for a little bit, make sure there's no leaks. Okay, so now that we ran the car for about 5-10 minutes, doesn't appear to be any leaks. Looking at our drain pan, doesn't look like there's any leaks to touch. No leaks at all. Looking at our filter, doesn't appear to be any leaks at all either. All right, so there it is. That is how you do the oil change on a Hyundai Santa Fe. So that should cover all first generation Hyundai Santa Fe's. This is between 2001 up to 2006. As you can see, it wasn't really that difficult. All the visuals were pretty clear. I hope that video was helpful. If so, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already a subscriber, consider subscribing so you can see the latest content from Ballin' on a Budget Auto. All right, guys, stay tuned. I hope this video was helpful. If so, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing so you can see more content from Ballin' on a Budget Auto.